Let's get a look at the after hours jack. If I had to close my eyes and design an EDC knife, it would look a lot like this. I absolutely love this thing. If you guys follow my channel, I know I show this knife a whole lot, but it's because it's one of my favorites in my collection. My Tom's Choice Barlow with the sheep's foot blade. Look at this. Come on now. Seriously. We've got the long pull, which doubles as a ridge to catch your thumb. Or on the back side, hit the flick on it. Also has a front flipper. All modern on ceramic bearings, titanium frame lock, and good Lord, you can see why I like the lines a lot of this after hours jack. There you go for size comparison too, while we're here. I've got a bunch of sizes to show you, and just stick around. I love the fact that on his locking knives, on the Jack Wolf locking knives, that they keep this front profile here really traditional aligned. Like, what I mean by that is they look like traditional knives. This and this don't look much different. I mean, obviously the patterns are different, the size are different, materials are different. If you have a real keen eye and you see this jimping, you might start to suspect something's up. Even right here, you're probably like, most people would be like, yeah, I mean, it's a traditional knife. And if you really know what you're looking at, and most of you do, you can start to see this backspacer here. It's not a spring. And then you twist a little more and you see the clip on. You're like, oh, okay, something's different here. But for the most part, I'd say like 85% of this knife still looks like a traditional knife. This one looks a little more modern than some of the other versions that they have, because this one is all titanium slabbed and it has that jigging on there with the faux bolster, like a Barlow style bolster there. Now some of the other versions have this milled down and they have the room for the carbon fiber. And again, there's some beautiful options up for grabs. Let's take a tour around the knife, let you know. Ceramic bearings, right? Obviously frame lock design. We do have an insert in there, you can see it. And I always wondered why on the first gunstock version, they have an over travel stop in there. You can see it right there, which means when you go to unlock this bar, not only will it not overshoot so that you can unspring your lock bar. Right, now some of the other versions would have the carbon fiber over the bottom half here, and you couldn't spring it past that carbon fiber anyways. But I didn't know that they had already had these all titanium slabs in the works. So we still have the over travel bar on there. While we're looking at this portion of the knife, I also want to highlight this. Some people are not going to be a big fan of this. I absolutely love the way that Jack Wolf knives have done this, but I like how there's no big insert here to unlock the bar. It is milled away here, so you can very easily set your thumb right in that divot and just pull it over and it'll close, right? But maybe we can get into some size comparison stuff. There's nothing like a Sebenza, how you have this cutout area to access the lock bar. And I know some modern folder guys possibly will take that as a hit, but again, as I went over in the beginning, he's really holding true. Jack Wolf knives are really holding true to being traditional knives in traditional styled knives first, over, you know, making so many modifications they might as well just make a flipper, you know. So I like that a lot. It gives it, you know, some consistency in the hand. Not that I've ever had a problem with the Sebenza. It's not a Sebenza video, but you know, to me, there's no difference in grabbing. I come down right on the top of this lock bar and pull it over. I come right down on the top of this lock bar and I pull it over. It's the same exact thing to me, so it's not a big deal to me. But I want to say that I'm a fan of how this one is done. The gun stock was the same way, and I expressed my gratitude towards Jack Wolf Knives for keeping that design true to being a traditional style knife first. So I don't know if we're going to see that in the future change or not, but I do like seeing that they're still holding true to that. Again, with the triple fluting here on all their newer releases, maybe even more so, have been released with this triple fluting now versus the regular one. I don't have another one right next to me here, but I really like that. It gives it some visual interest. This is a Coffin Jack Barlow. So the Barlows have a little bit longer bolster. Again, we'll pull out that TC Barlow. I think originally, because the Barlow knife was a pattern that was more affordable, it was meant for a working man, the bigger bolster added some rigidity to the front frame area there where the pivot went in. And I just think it's a really cool look, really classic look. So I like seeing that they have went ahead and put it on this. It gives it a balanced look, in my opinion. Look how beautiful this jigging is. This knife is 2.8 ounces. It has an S90V blade, extremely thin, hollow ground blade. And you can see that beautiful swedge on there. Deep, long pull method of deployment. We may have already went over it. You can obviously pull it like a slip joint, right? You can flick it from underneath. And again, I love this long pull. You can flick it way up here, down here, just wherever you grab the knife and go like that. You have an area that will grab your finger all the way down. It's a really brilliant design with elegance that's kind of like no other. Love it. And then of course you can slow roll it open. You can't quite flick it with your thumb open because there's no stud to like push off of. I guess you can kind of do it if I really focus on it and give it a little bit of wrist. But it's not quite a thumb flicker. And then of course you have your front flipper. Again, tastefully done. Closed, you may not even catch it on first glance. But it's just enough to grab that thumb, and you almost do it like you're starting a lighter. You pull it. When I give this to anybody to try, it's hard for them to hit it on the first try, but you kind of just pull it back. It's easy once you get it, but I understand it's a little finicky, and it's hard to do around the camera here. But anyways, let's get some size comparisons going. We will put it up against the laid back Jack. You can see I have nuked this one. We'll do another video on that later, but these are in the same style here. Both titanium jigged with the hand rub satin that has been fingerprinted up there. And you can see the size comparisons, cutting edge. Well, we're talking about cutting edge. Cutting edge on the After Hours is 2.78 of pure cutting edge. The actual blade length is 3.15. I'm assuming that goes all the way to the front of that frame there. So you see just a little bit larger in cutting edge and overall versus the laid back. This is the Dr. Feelgood, one of my favorite Jack Wolf knives. Again, they all seem to be my favorites. I can't help it. If you get it, you get it. Once you get one, it's kind of hard to not get it. But you can see the cutting edge is about the same, and the overall length is about the same. This knife right here, the Feelgood, is deceptively like long. I really love this thing. Has the kind of Barlow style bolster on it. This is the Doctor's pattern. But I really love these blade shapes. I love the simplicity of like this straight, you know. And again, if you watch my channel, I say this all the time, a little bit of rake to get an aggressive cut on the front of that tip. So while it is a straight pattern, your eye kind of sees it as straight. When you actually put it in hand and use it, it has aggressive cutting potential. It is crazy. And then you also have that lock. I think these are going to appeal to a wider range of people, and I'm very excited to hear back from any of you guys who have purchased these or are thinking about purchasing them or have in the past, and just post your experiences below. And these locking knives, do these interest you if you are not into the traditional space? You know, you can kind of get a traditional design but still have your lock and your titanium and your bearings and your flippers. That's a small Sebenza in Singo, you can see. This is a small Hinderer. Again, one of my favorites. I love the Wharncliffe blades. Sheep's foot, the same thing. They're just not quite as pointy. Again, for cutting edge, you're getting a little bit more on the Feel Good. Well, not the Feel Good, the After Hours. And let's go ahead and set this over here. Awesome knives. We have Spyderco and Della, new addition to my collection, in K390. You can see the cutting edge a little bit shorter than that in Della. Love my Wharncliffes and overall length there. Let's go ahead and pack that bad boy up. And we'll show it up against a Paramilitary 2 titanium conversion with the nuked titanium. I did that anodizing and stone washing on there and distressing. And then we will show it up against the matching Benchmade. What are these? How do I forget that? Anyways, the Benchmade that everybody has. Don't know how. Oh, the bug out. Jeez. You see cutting edge a little bit more than a bug out. Overall length about the same. So if you like the bug out and you like titanium, you like frame locks, you like traditional styling, you probably will love the After Hours. A little bit less cutting edge than a Paramilitary 2 overall length. That's a cool pairing right there. I'll have to do some more videos on my collection. I've got a ton of stuff I haven't even showed you guys. So with the After Hours, you get all this swag here. You get the cloth, you get the POG, you get 2 stickers, and then you also get the plug that is individually numbered to your frame of your knife. So if you wanted to take out this integral clip here, and you could put the plug in there. And it's the same if you have the Arctic Storm, I believe, carbon fiber. The plug, I think is titanium actually, but it is finished to the knife that you individually have. Like there's handwork even in fitting these plugs that are an extra piece into your knife. So these are premium knives. They have premium steel, and I can tell you, I have sharpened a few of these Jack Wolf knives in S90V. I can promise you their S90V is hard. They're testing at 60 to 61 HRC, and they're just great knives. They're not cheap knives. You know, this is $350. I'll have the links below. I believe they're going to go quickly. Fit and finish, incredible. No blade play up and down. You have your lock bar insert. You have your over travel in there. Again, a lot of these newer knives are doing lock bar inserts just because they're easily replaced when that day comes, you know. But I love the simplicity of the clips, that there's no exposed hardware screwing that clip down. It is a one-piece titanium clip, and then they're matching it to the hardware of the knife. It's really cool. Also for customizing, because you know we're probably going to be customizing this thing. All the screws now on the exposed screws on the locking knives are now titanium. on the first gun stock, and I would have my gun stock here to show you guys it in comparison, but I have it on loan to a friend. Shout out Richter Knives. Love you, buddy. But he has my gun stock, and the front pivot on the gun stock, that is the locking gun stock, is a steel bolt, steel barrel, and a steel screw head. So now they have went to a steel barrel with titanium male screws that go on each side. So if you ever wanted to anodize all this titanium, you can have it all the same color, right? Because that's titanium, that's titanium. Both sides of your pivot are titanium. So clip titanium, backspacer, obviously titanium. There is a whole lot of titanium on this knife. Again, just a beautiful piece of art, and then a great tool as well. Look at that swedge. I cannot stress how well these things slice too. And then the S90V, they'll just do it forever, and then when it comes time to resharpen them, they're so thin behind the edge that they're not that hard to resharpen. You have a good plunge here for your resharpening. It'll stay, you know, the same consistency at the heel, probably for a few reprofilings. But anyways, love this thing, the Coffin Jack Barlow flipper knife. What do you guys think? Man, hard to do around the camera. Love it. You get all this swag here, right? You get your slip, which that's the one thing. I thought this was a little funny. I'm glad they put it in there because they didn't have to. They didn't on the gun stock version, but this doesn't seem to fit in this because this is a larger closed length than most. If I really shove it all the way down there, we still got a little bit that pokes out there. So it works. Maybe it's easy to grab onto then. I don't know. Look at the plus sizes. They didn't have to put it in there. They are great sheaths, but it doesn't quite fit all the way down in there. Maybe it will once it stretches out and gets broken in. I don't know. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to be looking to grab one of these. I'll have the links below with all the official dealers. Thanks again to Jack Wolf Knives for sending this out for me to take a look at. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one.